In this video, we'll look at how to install MySQL Server and MySQL Workbench on our Windows 11 machine. The first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to open our browser and search for MySQL to download it. So I'll open Google Chrome. I'm going to Google for MySQL for Windows. And we'll click on this link that takes us to dev.mysql.com. Now we have our MySQL installer. There's two options that are available for Microsoft Windows. So there's this first one, which is much smaller than this one. So the second installer comes with all the packages, and the first one allows us to customize and select what we want to be downloaded. So we'll go with the first one. If you scroll down, you can skip this option of logging in and signing in and just clicking on this link to download. Now, once the installer is done downloading, just double click on it. We'll be prompted for a password to allow the install. Just click on yes. And now the installer is running. Okay, here we have setup options to select. We can go with server only, client only, developer default, full, or we can customize. So we want to customize, we'll select customize. We'll go with next. Here under available products, click on the plus sign under MySQL servers. And then we have many options. I'll select the first one from the list. I'll add this one. Can minimize that one. Under applications, we have under Workbench. Just expand the list. Select the first list. We'll go next. Under in this window, we'll just select execute. That should start the download. And now it's going to depend on how fast your internet speed is to download all the packages. So MySQL Workbench is done, is complete. Still waiting on MySQL Server to complete the download. Okay, they're both completed. We'll go next. Execute. So it's going to start installing. So right now it's installing MySQL Server. The version is 8.0.33. And then it's doing the Workbench as well, same version. So it's at 99%. It's almost done. So it's complete. We'll go with next. So the MySQL Server is ready to configure. We'll go with next. We'll go with the defaults here under config type, development computer. We'll leave the default. And as far as TCP IP, the port, we'll leave the defaults here as well. We'll click on next. The authentication method says use strong password. We'll go with the default. We'll click next. Now here you have to provide a password for your root user. So you have to pick a password here. So it's saying it's a weak password, but it's accepted it. We'll go with next. Again, we'll leave the defaults here. It's saying, it's asking if we want the MySQL Server to start system startup. we'll leave it at the default, and then standard system account. Click next. Again, leave the defaults, click next. This is the configuration it's going to do. So these are the options that we selected. We'll say execute. So it's this step. Starting the server. And we're getting a message here saying that the configuration for MySQL Server was successful. Click Finish to continue. We'll click Finish. Configuration complete. We'll click Next. It's saying you can copy the logs if you want to look at the logs. And it's asking if we want to start MySQL Workbench after setup. Yeah. We'll click on Finish. And that should start the workbench. And here's the MySQL Workbench. So minimize it. And there's already a connection for the root user that we set up for us. There's also, if you ever needed to create a new connection, you can click on the plus sign and set up the connection with you can give it a name, the username here, and then the password. Since there's already a connection here, we'll use this one. We'll double click on it. We'll need to put in the password we just set up for the root user. You can save the password in Vault so you don't have to type it next time. And we are logged into the MySQL Workbench, and we can use this to run queries, create new databases, and stuff like that. Let's just run a show databases. See what that's gonna give us. We'll run it, and in this window we have the results from that query we just ran. So that's how we install MySQL Server and MySQL Workbench on a Windows 11 machine. I hope this information has been useful. See you again in my next video. Thanks. Bye.